Hello, everybody. Hello. I am getting just cleaned up a little bit from this afternoon, putting some paints away, and hey, Shay. Just putting some paints away. I am going to do day 2 of painting a dot mandala based on a card pull from my inspiration deck. So I am partway or most of the way through my day 2 card pull. I came to realize fairly quickly that I wanted to do a bunch of top dots. So I need to let it sit aside for a while. I've got a couple little bits to finish too, but I'll show you how it looks so far here. Bear with me 1 second. Yay, I'm so glad, Mina, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Yay, gonna do dot art soon. So this was day 1. Day 1, the card pull was the word giddy. So I chose this color and these designs to paint this mug. I still have to do the handle, but this one, I did get it right. Yay! Wonderful. I'm so glad to see you. Thank you for coming to hang out. I love this one. These are all Craft Smart multi-surface acrylic paints in metallics, except the green. The green is actually a mixture of 2 different Martha Stewart pearls. So these mugs are the multi-surface acrylic paints will cure to be top shelf dishwasher safe after baking. So I still recommend gentle hand wash though, just to be on the safe side, but I'm really happy with how this one turned out. And definitely, it's so funny because I was thinking about this today. When the word prompt comes up, it's almost like this is what I would see if I was super giddy and then I just took a minute to kind of close my eyes and breathe it in and just be in the moment for a second. These are the colors that I would see. So really happy, but not chaotic and not bam in your face or anything, right? Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Neha. Hi, Mangoes. Thanks, guys. So this is day number 1. So I am challenging myself to paint a dot mandala every single day for 30 days based on the card that I pull from my inspiration deck. Thank you, Louise. I'm so glad you like it. Thank you, Natalie. All right, so then day number 2. Do I plan out the designs before I do it? No. Pulling a card from the deck has been the most preparation that I've ever done for paintings, other than getting an idea and just starting to run with it. Okay. So today's card pull was a 10 color minimum. So that is a lot for me. I don't usually do that many colors. The most colors I normally do is 6 or 7 when I'm doing rainbow colors. So doing 10 colors, I knew that this card was in there and I'm kind of like, sure, of course this is card pull number 2. It's going to kick me in my butt and it's really going to challenge me right out of the gate. And it did. However, I did still play it a little safe because I went with just expanding the rainbow. So I expanded the rainbow to 9 colors. I'm going to add in some gold for some detail. Oh, thank you for the rose, B. Keller. That's so kind. And the gold is going to make the 10th color. So this is the mug so far. I have to finish doing these swoops all the way around. But then the gold, I'm going to go in and put them in as top dots. So on all of these large dots and swoops, there's going to be a gold accent on there. And of course, I'll do the handle after as well. But this is where our 10 color mandala is going so far. So I'm going to finish up these swoops. And then once the swoops are done, then I'm going to let everything kind of sit for a good 24 to 48 hours. And then I'll go in with some gold. And I'm going to do some gold top dots on the swoops, gold top dots on these larger dots. And what I'm doing for this is, see the center swoop on this one is orange, and this one's yellow. This one over here, the center swoop's going to be red. This one's going to be light green, dark green, teal, blue, purple, and pink. So I actually had enough spaces there. So this is one that once I get the top dots done, this one is going to be a mug that I'm going to air cure for 3 weeks. So these paints will cure to be top shelf dishwasher safe if you bake them, or you can let them dry, air dry for 21 days. So this is going to be one of the ones that I let air dry for 21 days. The reason is because when I'm putting multiple layers of paint on here, the more layers of paint I get, the higher the risk of bubbling when I bake the paints. So I am going to just take care of this, and I am going to let this one air dry. The baking instructions vary from brand to brand, so please check your bottles. Okay? They are both completely effective. Hey, Shannon. Thank you, Shadow Cat Girl. Thank you, Cal. Thanks, Cindy. I'm so glad you like it. So that's card pull number 2. Card pull number 2 was a 10 color minimum. Thank you, Mina. Thanks, Cap. Thank you, Kristen. So this one will likely be part of my shop restock. I'm doing a shop restock actually on Christmas Day, December 25th. And this is going to be one of the mugs that's part of that, but it's still not going to ship until mid-January because I've got to leave it for the full 3 weeks so that it completely cures. I don't want any risk of any damage happening to any of these paints, so it is not even going in a box or being wrapped in tissue paper until the full 3 weeks has gone by and this is fully air cured. Hey, Axel, how you doing? Thank you, Chris Davis. Thanks, Axel. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Chameleonaire. How you doing? So this is day number 2 of painting a mandala based on a card pull. This was day number 1. The card pull then was the word giddy. Day number 2, which is a 10 color mandala. And we're going to do day number 3 here on the live together. So I'm going to put that card aside and we're going to grab this deck. And we are going to start on day number 3. So baking is definitely much more time efficient, and it is my preference if I can. Like this one here, I'll definitely be baking it. Air drying is kind of my fallback. Now, I know lots of artists that all they will do is air dry. They won't do any baking at all. But I've had some good success with baking and figuring out how to keep it from bubbling. So I continue to do that. However, again, the more detail, it really depends on how much detail you've got on there and how much patience you have. So I'm going to shuffle this deck. It's just like, I'm treating it just kind of like a tarot deck, right? Where I'm shuffling my deck and I'm going to just sit and breathe for a minute and pick a deck. Aw, thank you, Barb. 11 minutes in and you're at 1,000 likes. That's kind of cool, eh? I'm doing good, Axel. Anything we can do for you? Sending you lots of love. No, at this point I don't have any light blue and white mugs available. Oh, thank you, Elaine. That's now your favorite. Thanks, Barb. All right, so I'm just going to take a minute, and I'm just going to close my eyes, and I'm going to just kind of breathe for a minute while I shuffle, and then I'm going to lay out the cards, and I'm going to choose one, and then we will make some decisions. Top dots. All right, so I need to create a dot mandala that will have top dots as one of the defining features. So let's do, what do we want to do? How in depth do I want this to be? Part of me says do another rainbow one. I'm thinking. All right, I know what I'm going to do. Hold on, I'm going to go grab my mug. I'm going to grab my mug. Okay, I'm going to do a gray mug, and I'm going to use white pearl paint, multi-surface, and I thought I had a pink. I thought I had a light pink multi-surface. I thought I did. Maybe. What one is that? Rose copper. That is rose copper. I thought I had a rose gold. Okay, so I'm thinking of this pale pink. That's what I'm thinking in my head. But now I'm also thinking maybe this one would be, or pick a couple colors of pink maybe. Nope, just the one pink. Okay, so we're going to keep this simple. We're going to do a piece that is going to have top dots, but I'm going to keep them fairly simple. I'm just going to still keep them with one layer of top dots. I find it interesting, and you know, the things that I want to pay attention to while I do these card draws. It's just interesting that I've gotten a couple skill practicing things and not so inspiration kind of idea. So I figure on the gray with pink and a nice metallic white, I think we should be able to create a really, really pretty design on this one. Can't do dots starting at the top of the mug because these paints are not food safe, so I can't have anybody have put their mouth over where the paint is. Okay, let me see. The suspense, sorry. All right. Yeah, so you don't want to get any dots up close to the top here. Now, here's the difference though, right? If I'm going to hold this as a right-handed mug, my design is going to be on this side. I'm not going to be putting my mouth on that side. So I can go ahead and put my design there. And I think that that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to try and make this really nice and delicate and pretty. Should I add in some really pretty dark silver metallics too? I feel like I should. Okay, so I'm gonna. Decision number 2. All right. What silvers do we have? No. Where is it? Must be in a different drawer. I have so many drawers of these paints, you guys. All right. So we are going to grab a dark silver to go with this. I'll show you this color. It's a Martha Stewart, and it's called Brushed Pewter. And we're going to test it on the handle because I want to make sure that the grays actually go together. So I'm just going to put this on here. Yeah, I think as an accent that could be cool. So I'm choosing colors to paint a Dot Mandala mug. Today is day 3 out of 30 of painting a Dot Mandala based on a card that I pull from my inspiration deck. The inspiration deck is one that I made. And if it's something that you'd like to use, it is available for pre-order. Now where's the rest of my white? I'm actually going to lighten this up just a tiny bit. And then because I don't quite want silver, but I don't want the super dark either. So I'm mixing in a white pearl with this brushed pewter. And I think I want it to still be lighter still. So let's see. It could. Yellow would look good on a gray background as well. Yeah, it's totally possible. It would look very springy and very flowery, especially if you even added in a little green there. Let's just get this stirred. I'm sorry, I'm trying so hard not to shake the table while I stir this paint. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit more. All right, one more try. See if this lightens it up for us a bit better. Oh, thank you, Zumafu. I'm glad you find it relaxing. And I promise I will get to the actual painting here soon. I think I'm going to make the main design just the pink and the white, but I'm going to have this for little bits of accent. We'll see how this goes. All right. Got that mixed up. Close the lid of that one. I'm going to top up this one and give it a stir. Just topping that one up, making sure I've got lots of paint. And then I'm going to grab another little paint pot and we'll put the pink. We'll put the pink in. I'm tempted to even make a couple different colors of pink. What do you think? Should we? I kind of feel like we should. All right, let's grab a few of those. And you know what? I'm going to mix it with the hot pink. What's what noise? Shaking my paint. It is multi-surface acrylic paints. Hey, Crystal. All right, so I'm gonna close up these other paints. Bear with me here. So I'm gonna do the gray mug. Oh, my camera arm is it's just about done, I think. Oh, ouch. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to close up these colors of paint here, and we're going to see if we can maybe mix a couple different colors of this pink. And let's see if I can do this without screwing up too badly. Okay, so we've got that lighter pink. Let me see what I have for other colors of pink. I don't want to... Actually, that one might work. I don't want too many different colors. So I might even just create one. I'm going to add And then I will be back to the comments while I stir. So let's see. Does your mug have pointed peaks on the dots when finished? No. Well, it depends on the paint, honestly. When I use a lot of folk art, then yes, I get the pointed peaks. When I use the Craft Smart and the Martha Stewart, not so much. Occasionally with the Martha Stewart. Mostly with the folk art, and not every time. It just depends on how thick the paints are. You can't thin these paints down with medium or with water or anything. It will impact their ability to adhere to the surface properly. Excuse me. So it'll impact their ability to adhere to the surface properly. And I saw that comment about the hot pink dots in between, and that's exactly what we'll do. I'll keep that for another accent color. Thank you. So you can't add water or pouring medium to these to paint on ceramics because it will impact their ability to adhere to the surface. So the only way to thin out your multi-surface paints that I have come across anyway is to find another brand that is a little bit more fluid, a little waterier, and find similar colors to mix with your thicker paints to thin them down a little bit. Might change the color slightly, but it depends on which is most important to you. Is it the color, or is it not having peaks, right? So kind of keep that in the back of your mind. That in my experience, it's one or the other. If you find out anything different, please let me know. Okay. A little bit more stirring to do, you guys. Sorry. I'm actually going to grab a small brush to do this. I've got a small crappy paintbrush that I keep around to do the stirring. It tends to get up most of the color from the bottom a little bit better. All right. I think this is good. I think that looks pretty good. A couple good colors. What do you think? Think that looks all right? I think so. And then I've got the darkest pink, and we will use the darkest pink as some accents. How do I get this stupid lid off? I got these new containers that are great for holding my little paint pots, but now I can't get this stupid lid off. Come on. I have to be smart enough to do this. I have to. Just give me my paints. I just want to get at my paints. This is why they were $10 for $3 at the dollar store. Here we go. So these, let me turn the paint pots upside down so you can see the colors a little bit better. These are our 3 pinks. Ding, ding, ding. And then with our silver and our white. Okay. Okie dokie. So again, the card that I pulled is for top dots. So I want to keep this fairly simple because I am going to have to let this one sit and dry. And I don't want, I want to keep the base design as simple as I possibly can so I can get it done as close to in one shot as I can. I find that if I have to put the piece aside too often, then I kind of lose my inspiration for it. So what I really want to do is at least get the main design done so that I can set it aside knowing that the only thing I still have left to do is the top dots to fulfill this card pull. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, I'm scrolling back. Sorry, Brandy, when I'm working on something else, I can't see the comments, so I only come back and check the comments every once in a while. Sorry about that. How long have I been doing this on cups? For a little over a year now, and I've been doing Dot Mandalas for a couple years. Thanks, Crystal. All right. So let's get started here. Let's get started. So I'm going to be painting a Dot Mandala. Quick recap. This was day number 1. I'm doing 30 days pulling a card from my Dot Mandala inspiration deck. The deck's available for pre-order through the link in my bio. Please, please, please read the product description thoroughly before you place an order for the pre-order. So this was the first day's card pull was Giddy. That's what I painted. Tried to use as my inspiration for this Dot Mandala mug. And then day 2's card was called a 10 color minimum. So I expanded the colors in the rainbow. And I still have more to do. I have to finish doing these swoops going all the way around. And I've only got 9 colors in my rainbow, so I'm going to use gold on some of these top dots to add just some bling and some fanciness. So the gold is going to be my 10th color. So this one is definitely going to be another one where I'm going to have to let it sit for the 21 days to air cure. These multi-surface acrylic paints will air cure after 21 days or after baking. Because of the thick layers of paint and the multiple layers of paint, if they are not perfectly dry before they go in the oven, then they will not cure. Or not perfectly dry, but if they're not mostly dry. So what happens is when you layer multiple layers of paint on top of each other, moisture and air get trapped in there. You put it in a hot oven, water and air expand, bubbles come out, and it looks awful. So anytime I'm going to be using multiple layers of paint, I will always err on the side of caution and air cure those ones. So I either bake them to cure them or I air cure them for 21 days. Whichever one I choose, these paints will be top shelf dishwasher safe when they're done. So that's day 2, and now we are starting on one that is going to be top dots. So when I think of top dots, what I'm thinking of is that I need to create a base design that is going to accommodate some top dots for detail. So that's why I chose the single color grade with all of the pinks, because I can create a lot of layers of top dots with just the pink colors, which is kind of cool. The word today, the prompt for today is top dots. So day number 1 was Giddy. Yesterday was 10 color minimum. And today is top dots. And I was saying that I find it interesting that 2 out of the 3 polls were skill practice prompts, as opposed to, some of the other inspirational prompts or other words like giddy, right? It's kind of neat. Don't need to coat these with anything. They will cure to be top shelf dishwasher safe after baking or after air curing for 21 days. All right. So let's get painting. We are going to start with a center dot. What I just did to prepare the mug is I sprayed a paper towel with some isopropyl alcohol and wiped it down. That helps remove any oils, any dirt, that sort of thing. So now I'm just going to eyeball where I want this design to go. I want it to go about halfway up. Looks like about there. And I'm going to choose the size of my center dot, which I am going to choose a size 18. So because I custom mix some colors, I'm going to be paying very close attention to bubbles, because if I see a lot of bubbles in the paint that I'm going to be working with, or if I see a lot of bubbles after the paint has been laid down, I'm going to want to go in and clean those up, because they will affect the finish at the end. So I'm going to lay down some more paint, but then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take one of my nail dotting stylus tools, ones with the metal balls on the end, and I'm just going to move the paint around. I'm flattening it out. This is the other thing you can do to help with peaks, is you can just kind of move the paint around, and you see that the bubbles are starting to come to the surface. So I'm going to grab one of my tools and just start popping the bubbles. We want to pop the bubbles when the paint is as wet as humanly possible, because then the paint will kind of backfill in on itself. So I'm just going to try and get as many of these as we can. And then I'm going to go back in with my nail dotting stylus tool because I'm not stirring and I'm not adding too much into this. I'm just going to try smoothing it out a little bit. And see if there's any other bubbles that need to come up. And there was that one. You'll start to see them even when they're buried under a couple layers of paint. You'll start to see them. See, there it is. There we go. Got it. So now I'm going to move the paint back again. And this should dry fairly smoothly now. Right? As opposed to being peaked. If you're new to my lives, just know that I can't see your comments while I'm painting. I will pause, though, on a regular basis and make sure that I come back to the comments and catch up. All right, I'm going to pause right now, and I'm going to scroll back just a little bit. How long does it typically take? One mug typically 1 to 2 hours, closer to 2 hours. Maybe even saying hour and a half to 2 hours. Now that's if I'm sitting painting by myself, not talking to anybody, not on a live, that sort of thing. Then I'll have a much better shot at getting done at a good amount of time. So I'm going to use this silver, the pewter. And I'm just going to come back and we'll finish saying hello. Hey, Hells Bells. How you doing? Annette, I'm using multi-surface acrylic paints. So I think that I'm going to start fairly small. All right. So when I'm laying out my dots going around the center dot, this might be really hard to see, but hopefully you'll be able to see it. I am dotting at 12 o'clock. So let's see if I can zoom in. 12 o'clock. You've missed seeing how you do the swish. I haven't done any swishes yet today. I don't know if we're going to get to one yet. Few minutes. Well, can you refresh my memory of what your question was, Kristen? Okay. So now I spun it around. Now I'm dotting at 12 o'clock again. Now I'm going to spin it this way, dotting again at 12 o'clock. Turn it this way, and then dotting at 12 o'clock again. Every piece that goes around a center dot, this is how I start it every single time. So now I'm going to go in and I am going to divide these spaces in half. So halfway between those two, halfway between those two, oops, halfway there, and halfway there. And then we're going to just keep doing that. Now, I don't think I can squeeze 3 dots in between there, so I'm actually just going to, instead of dividing the space in half, is I'm just going to do 2 dots, just like that. Need a little bit more paint on this one, I think. There we go. You can always go back in and add more paint. This is really hard to see because it's so similar to the color of the mug. So if you're new to my lives, please know that I can't see the comments while I'm painting. I will take regular breaks to come back and answer questions and catch up on the comments. So just know that if I haven't answered your question or comment yet, just bear with me. I will come back and answer as quick as I can. But I want to make sure I get painting done too, so I can't sit and talk the whole time as much as I like. Well, that's not true. I still talk the whole time. I just don't answer questions the whole time. Sometimes I just ramble. And then sometimes we just have some quiet time too. but I will come back and catch up. I just don't want you to think that you're being ignored. Okay, so there is that first row of dots. Couple little off-sized. That's all right. We'll deal with it. I'm not worried. I'm not terribly concerned. A lot of this stuff will get camouflaged in the entire design anyway. And if you find that you get to the end of this design, if you're painting with multi-surface paints on ceramic or glass, if there's something that you don't like, you can pick it off and redo it again. After about an hour, the paint will be dry enough that what you've just painted will just pop right off. And that will continue to work for you for a couple hours, maybe even 24 hours. After that, it starts to really cure. And once it cures, that paint is not coming off. So these paints will cure to be top shelf dishwasher safe after baking or after air curing for 21 days. But the baking is the fastest way to get it done. But because I'm doing top dots on this one is going to be an air cure mug, because I'm going to leave it for the full 21 days. The more layers of paint I have, the increased chance I have of getting bubbling when I bake it. So to eliminate that risk, I'm just going to let it sit on a shelf for 3 weeks and get fully cured before I stick it in a box and send it anywhere. This mug will be part of my shop update on Christmas Day, though. I'm going to be doing a shop update on Christmas Day for some of the blanks that I sell, like blank stones and blank tea light candle holders, and for some of these mugs that I've painted. So this is going to be one of those, but it's still not going to be ready to ship until mid-January. Much like the rainbow one that I showed you earlier. Now I'm doing every other space because this gives me another point of reference. Okay, if I'm just doing every space, then I am only basing my current spacing off of how the previous row went. And there's quite common, most of the time, there are spacing issues to be corrected. So when I do the every other dot, instead of only relying on the space in the row before that I'm trying to line up with, I can see, is my dot that I'm laying down actually halfway between the other two white dots on either side? And this is how you can kind of camouflage any spacing issues or kind of correct it after the fact, without feeling the need to rip apart your entire design and start over, right? Sometimes you're going to do that. Sometimes that's going to happen. But we'll wait and see. Okay, so there we go. Let me scroll and see how I can catch up on comments. Comments typically an hour and a half to 2 hours if there's nothing else going on. Thanks, guys. Hey, Loose Feather, you're painting too? Yay! Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, and thank you for the roses. That's so kind. Hi, Tammy. What did you buy, Loose Feather? The baking process is different based on the brand of paint that you use, so check the bottles. Top dots. So top dots are when you layer more than one layer of paint on top of each other. Let me see if I've got another mug here that has top dots. Hold on, let me show you an example of one. Okay, so this is one of the mugs that I have air curing right now. It does already have a home, but I will do more of them. But see how these purple dots here have blue, teal, and yellow? Each of those was a top dot. So you've got your layer, your base dot, which is the purple, and then the first layer of top dots was the blue. So it's just layering on more and more paint. This one's pretty that way. And then what I don't have on these mugs that are in front of me is the handles done, but I always do some kind of design like this on the handle too. So this one's already been adopted, but these ones that I'm working on, I'm going to have at least 5, no, I think I'm going to have closer to 10 or 12 new mugs available on Christmas Day. I think. Oh, no, that's not the right color. I need the light pink first. Thanks, Courtney. Oh, thank you, Tammy, for answering that. Kristen, did I miss your question? Oh, it was the baking, the how long. Okay, sorry about that. I hope that this is relaxing. That's wonderful. Gail, the painting tools that I use, I'm guessing someone already answered those for you. I got these nail dotting stylus tools, the ones with the metal balls on the end. I actually got these from Michael's quite a while ago, as well as these ones that have the silicone brushes on the ends. Dot Art Depot is a great resource for dotting tools, and you can use code Jamie10 for 10% off. It's JAIME though, JAIME10. They have dotting tools like this. They have different stencils, which help with your spacing and laying down some grid lines, which is amazing. Some molds that you can make your own stones. And then my favorite tools are these white ones that look kind of like pencils. They come in all different sizes, from large to small. And they are from DIY Mandala Stones. DIY Mandala Stones. All right, now I am going to do another row here. I love the handle thing too. My friend Sharon told me I should do that, and it's been the best thing I've done since. Exactly just in time for Boxing Day. Oh, you don't have multi-surface? No, that's okay, Loose Feather. Amazon's another great resource as well. Always a great resource. There's tons and tons of resources out there now, which is great. I think the thing to really know is that you don't have to break the bank if you're just starting on this. You don't have to get a set of fancy tools unless you want to. I started with crochet hooks. I went to Walmart and got a bunch of the gray plastic crochet hooks for $1 each and used those as my dotting tools for the longest time. No, you can buy them in sets, Clarelle, sorry. How long for the paint to dry before you can top dot it? That's going to be a minimum of 24 hours. Bag's empty. No, that is for Dot Art Depot, Barb. Sorry. I wish I had a discount code for you guys for DIY Mandala stones, but I don't. I'm so sorry. Yeah, nail dotting tools are great, right? Nail dotting tools, you can get a set of these for $4 or $5. You can get some acrylic rods, some great tool sets there. That's okay, Barb. What one dot? I don't see which one you're talking about, Scarlett. Hey, Off the Hook. All right, so I'm going to start getting the next row in. I'm going to use my light. What am I going to do? I am going to use a larger tool. I'm going to use a size 4, and I'm just going to do every other. 2, actually, I'm going to stretch this out just a little bit. Oops, these ones need a bit more. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, and now we're gonna go in here and in here. Oops. Here. All right. So after this dries, what I'm going to do is on this lightest pink, I'm going to actually put a top dot of the white pearl. I just screwed up that dot. That one wasn't even close to round. All right, let's try again. So So we're not going to get a ton of this done on the live today, but I am going to be live again tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. I don't know if I will be working on this or if I will be starting on the day 4 piece, but I'm going to be working on these mugs an awful lot. I kind of feel like the whole 30 days is going to be mostly mugs, maybe a couple other things, but probably mostly mugs. So we'll kind of go from there. Is it kind of blending in? Okay. And that's the hard part, right? Is sometimes things they kind of get camouflaged into the design after a while. So what I usually look at is if it's not something that's jumping right out at you like, hey, right here, then I'll kind of leave it alone for a little while. And then once more of the design has been built up, I'll take kind of a look at it to see if it still looks like it's going to be, a bit of an issue as far as color or anything, right? That's totally not the train of thought I was on. Oh my God. I totally just lost it, you guys. I'm so sorry. My brain is going a million miles a minute and I'm not keeping very clear thoughts right now. So bear with me 1 second. Okay. Sorry, you guys. Okay, I will take a look at that. Thank you, Scarlett, for telling me where that was. I'll know where to look for it there. This is going to be a Dot Mandala, Taylor. You almost forgot to come by and say hi. Well, that's understandable. You're human off the hook. I have a nail dotting stylus tool that has silicone brushes on the end, and that's what I use to pull the paint off there. And then with any residual paint left over, I use a wooden skewer to kind of erase it off of the surface. My caboose totally fell off my train of thought. I don't even know where I was going. I don't even remember what I was talking about. I hate when that happens. So I'm using dotting tools, Tracy. I'm using some of these nail dotting stylus tools. Some of them are double-ended with different size metal balls. Some of them have these silicone brushes on the end. I know Dot Art Depot has these silicone brush ones and these ones and a really nice acrylic rod set for, I think for both of them you'd pay about $17. And you'd get, I think, 4 or 5 of these, and I want to say 8 or 10 of the acrylic rods. So I use these, and then I also use a set of tools from DIY Mandala Stones, like so. They come in a bunch of different sizes. All right, so yeah, my caboose, everything, it was gone. Yeah, this one's great. I love these tools. I used to work with polymer clay, so I just happened to have these tools lying around. Yeah, thanks, Barb. I'm using multi-surface acrylic paints. All right, so I'm going to go in with a small tool, and we're going to go in with that really dark pink. You're welcome, Tracy. I'm sorry it took me a while to get to you, and I hope you weren't the victim of my train of thought just completely derailing. If I did derail in the process of trying to answer someone's question, please help bring me back on track. And if not, we will move on. So this is the really hot pink. And then I'm going to add, oh, I see it. It's that one, isn't it? Yep. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop this one off. So once the paint has started to dry, it's going to more kind of peel off. And then the wood, you can almost use it like an eraser, kind of rub back and forth. Yes, as long as you know, that's good. It's so pink, so perfectly sparkly pink. All right, let's replace that dot. So I'm going to be signing off in about 5 minutes, you guys. I'm not going to be able to stay on longer today, but I will be live again tomorrow night at 7 p.m. And I think it's here on TikTok. Might be Facebook though. Check my post from a couple days ago. It has my entire live schedule for this week. I will try to get it up in my events on my Facebook page. But for now, just know that I'm live at 7 p.m. on some platform, and it's maybe this one and it's maybe another one. I don't know. I think, you ever watch those videos of icing cookies where they do the flood icing, and oh God, it's so satisfying, and with the little tubes of, oh, it's so good. So good. Oh, that's awesome, Carson City. Fantastic. You're going to have so much fun. You're going to have so much fun. All right, I'm actually going to use, okay, we're going to go for the silver, and I'm going to show you what the next little bit's going to look like here. So I'm going to lay out a little bit more of the design before we go. So I'm going to go with the silver. This paint is pretty satisfying, I gotta say. But I'm pretty sure there's a cat hair in my paint too, so let me clean off my tool. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot of these card pulls because I'm only on this is only for day 3 out of 30. So I'm really excited to see what happens with this. And thank you guys so much for choosing to spend your free time hanging out here with me. I really appreciate you. And next shop update is Saturday, December 25th at noon Eastern Standard Time. Be a bunch of mugs there. I'll make sure I'll put up a post a day or two before of what I think is going to be in the release. And all the links are in my bio. I've got a Facebook group that you can join if you'd like. My website has all the stuff that I've hand painted and some stuff that I have put my art on. I've done some digital art and all of that fun stuff. And yeah, just come and hang out while we go live a bunch this week. That'd be fun. All right, so I'll show you what the next row is going to be. Just had to tap some bubbles out of my paint there. Okay, so on these silver dots, I am going to go in above the silver dots, and I'm going to do this medium dot. This is the same color that I used for the center dot. Oh, there's 129 people here. Hello, everybody. My name is Jamie. I'm a Dot Mandala artist located in Canada. I live in Ontario, Canada, about an hour east of Toronto. And I made a Dot Mandala inspiration deck. And that's what I'm painting from. So thank you guys for coming to hang out. Okay, so I'm laying the groundwork here for a row of petals. Okay, so I'm going to do walking dots around these dots. And I'm going to start doing them in white. And the white might be the only row we do. Depends on how much space we have in between. So let me just show you what a walking dot is, and I'll give you an idea of what this is going to look like. And then we will sign off. And then tomorrow, when I go live at 7 p.m., again, not sure if it's here or somewhere else. I can't remember my own schedule. But I will either show you the completed version of this, or I'll still be working on it. Let's let these comments refresh, because I want to catch up before we say goodnight. Yes, the Facebook group has a lot of incredible artists and a lot of people who are just learning and want to ask questions and be part of a supportive community. So if you would like to join us, we would love to have you. And just know that the Facebook group is really the safe space if you want to start practicing sharing your art. If you want another avenue to share your art, then we'd love to have you. All the links for that are in my bio as well. Thank you. Thank you so much, Barb, for posting that. Right now, here in Ontario, Jackie, it is 7:59, so 8 p.m. So I have been live for about an hour right now. Sorry about that, Jackie. 7:55 Eastern, yeah. Yeah, p.m. Oh, thank you, Cindy. I appreciate you. Hello in Long Beach. How are you? Oh, I'm so glad that you're enjoying it, Clarelle. Did it take a while to get the pressure right for the dots? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Practice and practice and practice and practice and practice and practice. And the practice can seem really intimidating because it does need a lot of practice. But if you're enjoying yourself, the practice will come easy because you just want to be doing it, right? So that's the quickest way to know if this art form is for you. Are you enjoying it? Doesn't need to be something you're going to enjoy forever. Are you enjoying it in this moment? And if the answer is yes, run with it. Right? Okay, so let me show you what these are going to look like to give you a quick sneak peek. So they're going to all look like that, all the way around. I'll do one more. All right, you guys, so this is going to be it for tonight. Thank you again so much for coming to hang out with me. I really appreciate you. I appreciate all the love and the support. And we will keep working on this mug. And like I said, I'll either have an update for you at 7 o'clock tomorrow night, or I will still be working on it. So 7 p.m. I will be live tomorrow. Again, I have no idea where. Maybe I wonder if I can look it up here on my iPad. I don't know what I have. I don't have TikTok on here on my iPad, so I don't know. Can I see my stories? I wonder. No, I'm not going to be able to find it on here. I'm sorry, guys. 7 p.m. tomorrow night, though, I will be live either here on Instagram or Facebook. Might even be able to do some top dots on this tomorrow. Maybe that's what we'll do on the live, is we'll do some of these top dots because I'll have had a full 24 hours to dry between layers, and we'll start adding some of the top dots here. So I'm going to do the lighter pink on this one, the white on this one, and then we'll just keep adding it in, and we'll see what we can do for the top dots. But I think it looks pretty cool so far. All right, you guys. Yay! Thank you so much for coming to hang out. I hope that you've enjoyed yourself. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, guys. Take care of yourself. It's on Facebook, 7 p.m. Eastern on Facebook tomorrow. Thank you, Jerry Lynn, you creeper. And thank you, Mary, and thank you, guys. I appreciate you looking at that for me. Thanks, Janice. All right, you guys, we'll see you soon. Lots of love. Bye-bye.